their job site's gonna look like shit, they're gonna look like shit. Guess what? That doesn't pay, right? So we have to have the shop look as good as all the other things that we want because we're showing them we care. We're showing them that it matters, right? So, and look, we used to have a messy shop. We had to fix that, right? As soon as we fixed it, did everybody belly moan and groan? Yeah. And 3 weeks later, it was our standard, right? They get used to it. Whatever we tell them to do, they will do. It's the same for an owner-operator. Keep your stuff good, right? Keep it nice. Who gets to charge more? Walmart or Nordstrom?
Nordstrom.
Every time. Why?
They ask for it.
They ask for it. They look like they deserve it. You know, you walk into Walmart and you need help. You're like walking around and you can't find anybody that worked there, right? I want to buy my $12 golf shirt, which is actually pretty nice, by the way, and I can't find anybody to help me find my size. I walk into Nordstrom, whoop, they're right on me. What can we do? What can we do for you today? How can I help you? The shirt that's probably made in the same factory that I paid $12 at Walmart is $100 in Nordstrom, and I'll pay it because you gave me a show. You gave me what I wanted, and I felt taken care of, and I have the money to pay the $100 because it makes me feel good, right? Be Nordstrom. There's all these guys in your market fighting it out on a race to the bottom of pricing, and then there's like 3 guys at the top getting all the good customers. Be one of the 3. Don't be one of the 100. That's a harder row to hoe because there's always somebody who will work cheaper than you. Right? And if you're on that race chasing that market down to the bottom, you won't survive, okay? And then the theater of business. This is the Dick Chrisman thing. Howard Partridge does this. Tommy Mello does this. All the good companies are doing this. They are putting a show on for that client because the show is what gets you bigger tickets. It's what makes the tickets better, right? Every job is a stage and every technician is an actor and an actress. We're putting on a show. We go ring a doorbell, that's a show, right? We better be up for it. We better be well practiced, right? Here's the pre-job choreography for Shamrock Cleaning and Restoration. We did this every time. We practice this all the time. Pre-job call. Hey Jim, it's Eric with Shamrock. I'm at the shop, I'm about to leave. My GPS says I'm about 25 minutes out. I'm gonna get a Starbucks on the way, what would you like, right? When Tommy said that yesterday, I cracked up because Larry and I put a Starbucks card in every van for years. I was like, I must not be so dumb after all if Tommy's doing it, you know? But yeah, we offer him something. In the afternoon, we used to have like a prepaid Visa card. Hey, I'm gonna go to 7-Eleven and grab myself a Gatorade because it's a hot day, can I bring you anything? Right, so they had 2 cards that were preloaded all the time. And we let our technicians have a coffee if the customer got one, right? It makes them feel happy. Makes them feel taken care of, right? So we're gonna do a pre-job call every time. Practicing where to park. Dude, don't pull in their driveway on their $100,000 paver stones with your leaky van, right? They don't like that. Park on the street, ideally in line with the front door and the front window so they can look out and go, oh, Scott with Veterans is here, cool, right? Don't just pull in like you own the place, it's their house, you've never made a mortgage payment there. Right? We have to remember that. It's not our job site, it's their home, right? We're gonna practice that front door interaction, looking them in the eye, having a nice smile, handing them a business card, right? We're making a good first impression. We only have like 30 seconds and they're gonna decide everything about us. So we better make that first 30 seconds good. Don't cut across the lawn. Walk down the driveway. Newspaper's there, pick it up. Amazon packages there, pick it up. Ring the doorbell. Be ready to serve right from the get-go. We used to lay out logoed mats, and then we'd have shoe covers in hand, and we'd be standing on the mat so our feet never even touch the ground when we put the shoe covers on, right? They notice these things. Mat doesn't cost much, right? Shoe covers don't cost much, right? But it puts on that show so that I can add to that ticket. Right? We're gonna teach our team about how to do an inspection, how to get that person to buy in. We're gonna pre-job education, right? If we tell them before, it's education. If we tell them after, it's an excuse. Lots of technicians don't like to tell people bad news up front, and then all of a sudden it's blowing up on me and I'm having to drive over there later, right? So we're telling the guys, hey, if there's bad news, you gotta tell them up front. They might not like it, but they'll appreciate it more than after when you have to get me involved, right? Then everybody's upset. And then I'm big on property protection. Butcher paper, ram board, corner guards, carpet runners, anything I can do to make it look like I'm taking great care of their property, and I can show that in a bid, and pull out my iPad and show them all the different pictures of jobs where we've taken great care of people's homes, prices going up by the minute, right? Because I'm showing them in my sales presentation, these are all the things that I'm going to do that my competition will not. I don't need to talk about my competition. I never mention them. I just show them what we do, because they've already taken a couple bids. I'm going to be double the price, and they're still going to buy, because I've put on the choreography of this job in advance, right? And then, you know, if every technician is an actor and actress on this work job stage, what do?
Practice.
We have to practice. I mean, if you go to a play on Broadway, it's not like they all just met each other 5 minutes ago and they went, let's do a play, right? What are they doing for weeks? They're practicing. And they practice a little bit every single day, right? Drip on them. Right? You guys do that every day, just a little bit at a time. Because people can't take it all in at once. It has to be a habit, it has to be a system. Right? You have to systematize this, but we have to get every person who's entering past the threshold of that house to be able to do a really good job communicating with the client and putting on that show. They will tell all of their friends. They will give you 5-star reviews. They will tip your team. Right? Our guys were making tips that were just crazy because they were doing all of this. Right? And that makes them happy. And what happens when they're happy? They don't leave. They stay with you longer. Right? I keep doing this. It's like a Zoom call with a blur. All right. Then you have to have a system to make more money. Right? Do most technicians love sales? Yours might, but nobody else's do. No, not really, right? A lot of them are kind of technical people, quiet, introverts, right? And we have to work a system for them so they feel comfortable selling. You know, guys would tell me, Eric, I'm not like you. I'm not a salesperson. Yeah, you are. Do you have a wife? Yeah. You're in sales. Your parents did you ever ask your mom or dad for an ice cream cone? Yeah. They give it to you? Yeah. You're in sales, right? We're all in sales on some level, but for me, I realized that it made them uncomfortable, so I started creating systems so that they could sell that just is more like education. Right? So we would have these sheets made up in carpet cleaning on our interior stuff where we'd say, you know, hey, it's been 2 years since you cleaned the sofa. It's been 3 years since you cleaned the tile. Would you like me to go ahead and do a demonstration to see what it could look like, right? So all of a sudden, we're just asking, hey, would you mind if I go and look at all the things that we've worked on in the house, and then I can give, no obligation, I can give you a summary of that. I'm gonna do an inspection, no charge. Well, what happens? Yeah, why don't you go, it's been 3 years since I cleaned my sofa. I thought I did that like 3 weeks ago. No, it's been 3 years. Yeah, go ahead and throw that on. Okay, great. Right, and all of a sudden, these technicians who don't like to sell have this sheet that's making them feel like, I can do this. I know how to do this, right? It takes away some of the fear. My goal with my text is I want to take away sales resistance. I want to take away fear from them so they feel good about it, right? And we're talking about money. The taboo subject that nobody likes to talk about. What are we doing in morning meetings? We're talking about money and the value of it, right? Because I got to get them to buy in that they're valuable. They deserve it. We deserve it. We do more than everybody else. We deserve more money for that, right? Use a brag book. There's Larry and I was kind of clean cut and 30 pounds lighter. Larry had a full head of hair, right? But we made a brag book. There was our brag book. You could see those tabs. Every van had a brag book. It had every single thing that we did and all the pictures from jobs, right? And we would say, look, you kind of see how that, because you got to remember this is like 15 years ago, right? You know, the quality of the photos, Mrs. Jones, they're not that awesome because these are jobs we really did. This isn't taken off iStock photo. This is us, right? And they're like, oh, okay. And then guess what else we did? We had them print all our Yelp reviews in every brag book, and we would leave that with them and say, why don't you go ahead and look through this while we go do the inspection? What's that do? It gets the client off my technician's back so they can actually think, and gives them time. And then they're reading all of this and probably pulling out their phone to see if it's true. It was true, right? What happens by the time my guy comes back? They're ready to buy. They're ready to go, right? Let me ask you a question. Can that young man, or woman if in that case, that's who our technicians are, right? Generally male, kids that don't like school, probably come from, maybe a little bit rougher background a lot of the times, right? Not a lot of self-confidence, not a lot of training in life. I have to take that person and make them happy with him. With no training, can he do that? Is that a fair ask on my part? Hey, Mike, 22-year-old guy from other side of the tracks, go deal with my doctor and lawyer $5 million house client. Make it happen. No way. That's not fair to him, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start training him in the morning, right? I'm going to get him to understand himself better. A lot of people don't understand themselves. Then I'm going to get him to learn to be able to read Mr. and Mrs. Millionaire, so that he can communicate with them in a way that they like to be communicated with. And that equals higher sales, right? On a disc, we'll talk about disc briefly. I only have a couple minutes left. I'm a high D. I want the best, I want it now, and just shut up and make it happen, right? That's my mentality, right? Just like, let's go. My wife's gonna wanna make a relationship with you. She's gonna offer you some coffee cake. She's gonna wanna know about your kids. Are you gonna sell me, she and I, the same way? No. You start doing that with me, I'm like, all right, we're done. Like, I gotta go, right? So we need to teach Mr. Young Man how to deal with each of those clients, right? I'm sorry, guys. Right, I know. So we use a tool called DISC. I know there's some people in here that use DISC. DISC is a system of assessing people's personalities so that you understand yourself, and then you'll be able to understand and read other people, right? And why DISC? There's ones, there's Wonderlic, Myers-Briggs, but they're complicated. Yeah. There's lots of different types. This is 4. Easy for the guys. When we started training this, my guys hated it. They'd sit there like, Eric, why are we talking about our thoughts and feelings all the time? And this is BS, right? And all of a sudden, I'm starting to hear them in the shop. I was at that job, and that guy was a high C, and he asked me every question in the book. Or I was there, and that lady was a high D. If I didn't give her a quote in 2 seconds, I was gonna lose her. And all of a sudden, they're going, oh, this stuff works, right? Now they have a tool to deal with that client, and I can customize my sales message to that person, and I'm gonna close more deals because I'm talking to that person, and my texts are talking to those people in a language that they understand. I cannot tell you how much money that can put in your pocket, right? And we used to train it just a little bit every day. And the last thing, there's 2 questions with DISC. Are they fast-paced or are they more deliberate, slower? Are they people-oriented or task-oriented? If you can answer those 2 questions by meeting that client, and you can probably do it in a couple minutes, you got them, you know who they are. And you start catering your message in that way. And you can train anybody to do this, right? Selling packages. You wanna make money? Stop having it yes or no. Start having it which one do you want, right? Give them options, economy, standard, premium, call it whatever you want. I got 5 minutes, so I gotta roll quick, right? And lastly, my thing was I used to teach my guys to think like a lawyer. What's a lawyer do? There's 7 steps ahead of you at all times mentally. Right? They're steering you down the river to get you where they want you to go. Now, you obviously could use that for bad, but we teach our team to use it for good. So, everybody says, like, when you get to that point, you've done a great sales presentation, and you're at the point where it's like, they don't talk anymore. And the saying, whoever talks first buys or whatever. Like, yeah, to a degree, but I think it's more like, we can only sit there in silence so long, right? Somebody's gonna have to talk. So I would teach my guys, say, hey, Scott, let me ask you a question. If price was no issue after I've done this whole presentation, do you think we'd do a good job for you? Right, because I want an affirmative answer. They're gonna go, yeah, you would. Okay, mind if I ask a follow-up question to that? Sure. with all the stuff that we've done, do you think a company that did all the same stuff we did and had the same reputation we did would be very much different price than us? And they have to say no. Great, which one do you want? Right? I'm working them to, because sometimes people just need that little nudge. All right, I'm going to skip a couple because I got like 2 minutes. So we have SuperTech University. We have 1,700 lessons. It's 3 to 5 minute video lessons every day where all the stuff that we're talking about today, we're dripping on your team. We're dripping on you. If you're an owner operator and you're growing and you want to, maybe you need a little help too, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Larry and I had to go learn it. If you're in the IICRC, you can get 14 CE credits for doing this after about 6 months, right? And this is what we work on. Personal development, job site behavior, DISC, sales and service, business development, CSR, because that answering the phone's crucial, and then service manager. Anybody ever promote a service manager from their best technician and it just blew up in your face? Yeah, we try to stop that. I've done that more than once, right? So I'm going to get it real quick. So this is what you get. Daily tech videos for the huge. CSR, service manager, and once a month you get to hop on a Zoom call with me and I can help you implement this if you need that, right? Retail price on that's $447, but for the huge, we're gonna only sell 10 because we got a trade show in a week and we have a big onboarding process, and when there's one person that onboards and he's standing in the back of the room, he can't do more than 10 between now and then, right? It's just too much work, but $199 a month, that price will never change. Once you've locked in, you're there for good. Scott, you guys do this every day. How does it help you?
So it is awesome. So it doesn't take no time at all. It's all plug and play. It gives you the days of the week that you're plugging into, plus the what videos corresponding what you're taking care of throughout the week.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, once you get this in, because our biggest thing was we're bringing on these young people that don't have the people skills, they don't have the soft skills to talk to customers and clients and things like that. These guys are fresh out of high school. They have no education as far as other than that. They have no experience other than that's what we're trying to get them. This right here is just completely different because it helps them talk to a customer. It shows the value, it shows you how you can add value to it.
All right. They're gonna like yank me off the stage with like the shepherd's cane here in a minute. So look, Larry and I are gonna be in the hall. What booth are we in?
3:30.
We're in booth 330. We'll be here all day today. If anybody wants to come get one of those 10 spots, come see us. We'll be happy to help you in any way. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
If anybody didn't put their name on the list here, you can get a copy of the presentation. That'd be great.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. You know what to do.
I'll be your shirt.
So let me turn this off before I drop an F-bomb. I'm sorry, Jim.
No, I'm sorry.
Jim's like, what am I supposed to say? I thought you had seen this before.
When will we get that?
It's such a basic answer. When I put it up the camera.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm in the way.
It's okay. Yeah, if you scan this.
Actually, one thing I did want to ask. Of course. Are we going to get like multiple logins for, or is this like we sit everybody down? Okay.
Text, email, if anybody wants to send it.
Okay.
Go into more detail.
And no contract or anything? Okay. This is exactly what we need.
Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it. Come and say hello downstairs.
Thanks, sir.
Have a good day.
You too.
Enjoy.
7 to 8 p.m. Central. Okay. And then usually we'll be able to go half hour.
What's up, Roger? What we doing, buddy? Doing all right. I'm gonna stop this actually. I get everybody's face standing in front of me.